So guys, welcome back to RBR. I'm your host Raz. Got quite the elaborate display here for you today. I'm doing something crazy to my pride and joy, my C63 Black Series. It's a car of legend. It's a car that you wouldn't think that you should even touch and just leave it as it is, but I have my reasons. And what we're doing today is we're going to completely respray the car. Bear with me, I'm not crazy. And we're also going to completely change the interior. I know, it's totally crazy, right? So today, we're going to turn my normal C63 Black Series into the spec of the fabled press car that was shown both on TV and in press when the car was originally launched. So let's dive in and check out the amazing C63 AMG Black Series conversion project. So AMG addicts, this car is my pride and joy. It's a car that you guys consider to be the quintessential AMG, the quintessential Black Series. And who can blame us? It's got that incredible 6.2 litre naturally aspirated engine from the SLS. It's a wide body track focused C63 meant to chase things like a GT3. And it's an absolute hooligan of a car with one of the best soundtracks that the world has ever seen. But weirdly, when AMG first showed this car off, they did it in an amazing new color called AMG SOLARBEAM Yellow. Never showed on another car before. It was weird to see yellow on a Merc back then as well, particularly a C-Class, but it really hit a note with all the AMG addicts. We all loved it. We saw it on Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson hooning it around. We saw it on all the press shots as well, but AMG never offered that color to their customers, which is bizarre. Imagine if someone tried to do that today. So if you wanted that color, you had to pay the factory over 30,000 euros. I got a quote for both the exterior and the interior, and it was over 60,000 euros a couple of years ago, which is insane, especially when you've launched the car in that color. Now, if you saw my first video, I tried to replicate the finish of the press car with vinyl. It was done at Dub Customs. We found a vinyl that was closely matched to SOLARBEAM, and it looked great. But vinyl will always be vinyl, right? So close up, you saw the orange peel. It was never as glossy as the paintwork, and it just wasn't exactly accurate AMG SOLARBEAM Yellow. Of course, with vinyl, it can get stone chipped, and then you have to replace panels, etc. It's a bit of a pain. And it wasn't just that was bothering me. The wheels that used to look awesome on the white car because of silver and white matching weren't looking right on this. And the calipers being red with the yellow was giving it a kind of McDonald's spec like on this car model. So it just wasn't all tying together as well as the original press car. And I also started to realize, as I said to you back in the original video, how boring the original C Black interior is. But we'll get onto that later. So what I decided to do was, to hell with it, let's actually get proper automotive SOLARBEAM Yellow paintwork on this car. Now, I'm not as ballsy as Shmi. I'm not just going to totally respray it and then the future value of my car goes out the window. Instead, I spoke to Fastlane Paint and Body, the official body shop for Mercedes Benz World in Brooklands, and said, let's do the peelable paint service that they did on my A45, as you guys saw in the video. But before that, I need to show you the main thing that I'm super excited about, and it was something that is terrifying to get done as an owner as well, and that was retrimming the interior. There we go. Shut the door. So guys, I don't think it would be a stretch for me to say that the interior of the original C Black was probably the most disappointing interior in the history of Mercedes AMG. And I say that because, essentially, as you can see here, it had the exact same interior as the standard AMG line car. So if you bought, for example, a C180 with an AMG package, you would get the exact same interior as the Black Series. And what made that interior? Well, you had fake man-made leather, or Artico as they called it back then. You had Dynamica, which is fine, it's used in AMGs as well, and red stitching. And in the Black Series, the only differentiator between this interior and that was an AMG badge here. And I know that to be a fact because I've bought a normal AMG line interior here to retrim for our final car. Now that wouldn't have been so bad, say, if the normal C63 of that era was using the same interior. But the normal C63 had Napa leather in a variety of different shades. Black and red, black and cream. You could have a leather covered dashboard, you could have Dynamica headlining. None of which was available for the Black Series. In fact, the patterns of the seats were the same as the diesel C-Class, whereas the normal C63 got different patterns. It is mind-bendingly stupid how they thought they could just get away with it. Of course, they have gotten away with it. But like I said, for someone like me, it's just not good enough. So it had to be changed. Steering wheel included. Indeed, you look at the rear, same story. So I asked you guys on Instagram, who's the best lot to go to in order to get an interior retrim done? You guys said B-Trim. That's who I went to visit. They are probably the best known in the UK, and for good reason, because of the amazing stuff they do. But before we do that, let's go back to Fastlane. I can't wait to show you this. Let's get the car over there, strip the vinyl off and show you what that finish was like, and then respray this in AMG SOLARBEAM yellow before we attend to the interior. So guys, this is Jamie's C63. He's a peasant, so this is in a wrap form rather than peelable PTS. So guys, we are here at Heathrow Fastlane, their main branch for all things Mercedes Benz. We've got a SEL 560 here, a couple of 500s as well. My first ever AMG back there, which is an SLK 55. But these guys specialize here at Heathrow in all the Merc stuff. So let's head inside. I'm going to show you all the process that they did on the Black Series, including the original strip off, some of the tests we did, and then show you the final car. I can't wait. The weather's perfect for it as well, for SOLARBEAM. Let's head inside. So as you can see here, we've started to take the vinyl off. All the parts have to come off as well because it's very similar to a full respray of a car peelable paint. But I want to take this opportunity to show you how the vinyl looks versus normal paint work. You can kind of now perceive that orange peely look versus normal paint work. You can see that there's a lack of gloss. You can see that the color isn't quite right. You've got kind of a foil look within the yellow, which the real SOLARBEAM does not have. So this is the issue with accuracy, and of course paint will always be paint, and this peelable version will be perfect. Now we've got a panel here, which is Amg Brilliant Blue, as we had on the A45. You can see what the material's like. If you want to peel it off, it will protect your original paint work, so really good stuff. Next, the spraying process begins. The initial layer is the peelable product, which of course makes sense. Next, the actual respray begins. Now, of course, tearing any car apart is a scary thing, but Fastlane deal with things like rebuilding entire G500s from scratch, including modifying the chassis, which normally would be done at the factory in Austria. They've got the skills here to do that. So the first paint has gone on. Let's see what these panels look like right now. So guys, here we are in Fastlane, and we've had the entire paint process complete now. So we've had the first primer, which is the peelable stuff, then the grey undercoat, the yellow undercoat, and then 3 layers of the SOLARBEAM yellow pearl. And you can see the exploded car behind us. Let's take a look at it right now. How cool is this view, guys? We've got the entire Black Series exploded here, a sight that I hope I'll never have to see again unless it's modifications. And you can see the lengths that we've gone to. And this is the standard process here at Fastlane to do the peelable paint. If you want to get in as far as possible, every single panel has been removed. But let's actually take a look at the finish now. Although this has all been painted and lacquered, it's not been flattened and polished yet. So that final bit of gloss and that final look you're going to see when I unveil the car. But even just take a look at the lacquer now. Now you guys know the properties of SOLARBEAM yellow. It is an extremely difficult paint to work with, simply because it's got so many different shades and layers to it. There's a bit of green, there's a lot of orange, there's yellow, there's that 3 layers of pearl in there as well. There's a really cool piece. You can see the front bumper here, so aggressive on the Black Series, but it really gives you a good idea. The different shades on the SOLARBEAM yellow here. Can't wait to get this looking just like the press car. Now let's skip forward in time and unveil the completed painted exterior of the car. So guys, how's this for an awesome coincidence? Just to show you how good the PTS peelable paint is. If you haven't seen my video yet, I did it first on my A45. This is Amg Brilliant Blue. It's a color that's sadly been discontinued, but it's one of the coolest colors ever because they had it with the C63S and they had it with the AMG GTS. And now you can compare. Here's the Fastlane peelable PTS, and there is the factory finished Brilliant Blue, and they are identical. It's clear, it's smooth, no orange peel, and it's identical. And you see, this is the reason that I had to go for actual paint for the SOLARBEAM. The car's standing right there. It looks incredible. You guys ready to see this? It's gonna be a quick pan. Don't blink. Jamie, show them the car. How breathtaking does this look, guys? This is actual AMG SOLARBEAM yellow, all peelable. You saw the process of it happening. The finished look is incredible. I've left everything stock. In fact, I've gone a stage beyond as well. We've kept everything chrome, all the badges are chrome. Fastlane even went to the details of re-lacquering my carbon to freshen everything up. It's literally glass finish. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but there's no orange peel at all. The pearl is really, really strong. But to really appreciate this, we're gonna take it outside. Before that, I wanna show you a quick look at the interior. Let's unveil it together and see what Retrim did. So guys, here we are at Retrim. There's the sea black. We're gonna go inside. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how I came to the idea of the interior, what it was inspired by, the kind of things that I was thinking about when we made it, the input of these guys, and actually show you the entire process. I'm even going to stitch a little bit, which is terrifying. They want me to stitch. The car behind me is almost done, but I'm going to take you through everything from zero to hero. Look, I've got a Recaro seat I'm sitting on. I've actually spoken to these guys about making an AMG seat out of an AMG chair out of an AMG seat, haven't I, Jamie? You want one as well, don't you? He's nodding furiously. All right, now that his willy's not wiggling, let's talk about the conceptualization of getting an interior like this done. Stage one is being fed up of your own interior, which I certainly was. Stage two is thinking about what did I want to create? And since I had so much love for the press car, that was my basis. I wanted some proper black napper from AMG. I wanted some yellow stitch to bring the car more in line with something like the GTR or the GT Black series today. So this is the render that I came up with. I thought it was really cool. They came back with some feedback as well, particularly John at Retrim, who had some really good ideas. And we have created something that looks absolutely epic. And I want to take you through the process of creation. Now, I want you to follow me this way, because I want to show you some really special machines that they have here that we've seen before, in fact. So we did a really cool factory tour of Brabus, where they were showing us amazing machines that could cut thin leather for pieces of G-Wagon and switches and window switches and all kinds of things. And that machine, the guys at Retrim have as well. There's only like 5 in the entire country. I think 2 are with Rolls-Royce, 2 with Bentley. This one belonged to Mulberry, the bag company, and they managed to get it, and they've used it on my car as well. I'll show you some of the process of how much it gets thinned and how much is left over. It's pretty amazing. Now here's another machine that you'll notice that we saw in our Brabus video as well, and this is that stitching machine. There's a rather interesting Audi pattern here in a rainbow color, and I'll show you some more stuff that they've done recently. But again, this stuff is top of the line. I mean, this is what the bespoke manufacturers use. Now let me show you some of the actual work being done on my seats. I'm just about to show you some of the micropiping process. You can see here, as we showed you on the Fortuna machine, this is the thick leather. Now for micropiping, it's had to be trimmed down. I'm going to take you over there now and show you how the micropiping is done. So you can see Adam's folded the yellow. It's almost closing the fold, is it?
Yeah.
So we're joining the 2 pieces together, and this is the tricky part, isn't it now? Get the distance between the 2 right. I guess you're a little bit blind, so you're just doing it from the rear.
A little bit, yeah.
So it comes down to experience. That is very, very cool. You made it look easy. And here you can see a finished piece. So we've got not just the Mercedes pattern, we've got the stitching, we've got the micropiping. It's all been done in an amazing way. Okay guys, I've been asked to do a bit of stitching, which I'm terrified, to be honest. He showed me very well how to do it, but he's the expert, as you saw in the other clips. So
well, don't get it wrong, because you know it's your pride and joy.
All right, we're going to try this. So you want me to pull it apart?
Just slightly, so you can see where you're going, and just keep that in the
middle,
in the groove there. Right. You'll be fine.
Let's try it.
And if you're good, we are hiring.
If YouTube all fails, I'll come back. This is oddly satisfying, actually. There you go, I didn't completely bugger it. That's not bad. That's a decent bit. Is that okay?
Pretty good. Pretty
Is that
good.
okay?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. I'll leave it to the experts. So guys, the car's all done. Here's the seat. Here's a little teaser. No, we're not going to show you. Now, we're going to take the car back. I'm going to show you the entire thing, top to bottom. You're absolutely going to love it. It looks like the Bruce Lee of cars. So of course, you've seen it at Fastlane. I can't resist but to unveil it again with the cover off. I love this Black Series cover. It does look absolutely fantastic. There we go. The sun has come out just at the right time as well. So guys, there you go. There she is. I cannot overstate how much better paintwork is versus vinyl. Of course, it's quite the outlay. It's about £8,000 to get something like this done properly. But then when you're paying any other manufacturer to get PTS or paint to sample done, that's kind of, you know, what you end up paying for special paint colors, especially 3-stage pearl like SOLARBEAM is. And the final effect is incredible because there's no orange peel like you find on your standard automotive paintwork. It's completely smooth and glass finish. The other great thing is you can PPF it, but it looks so shiny, it looks so perfect now. Of course, it's the proper AMG SOLARBEAM paintwork, and it just looks incredible. Now, I want to show you some of the details, again, that mimic the press car, because now, from outside, it is identical to that car in every single way. The first thing, of course, AMG SOLARBEAM yellow in all the right places. I haven't gone and blacked the nostrils out here like some people do, or black the roof, or dechrome the windows. None of that bollocks. This has got the proper chrome trims and the car as intended from factory. The other thing I did was bring the original wheels back, as I said, because the other ones weren't working as well with this spec. So those have come back. They were originally what were on the car, and behind them sit now AMG calipers in AMG grey. So these were exactly color matched to the correct paintwork. The decals of the AMG logos themselves were drawn by me. I did them myself. You know what a stickler I am for design and special effects, so they are identical to the original ones. And they finish off the entire spec perfectly because you haven't got that Ronald McDonald spec anymore. Now you've got the nice AMG grey calipers, just like the press car had, which suit the SOLARBEAM yellow paintwork so much better. And now look, when the sun hits, I can show you how incredible the pearl looks, how glass-like the finish is. It's just totally blown me away. I'm so happy with this finish outside. Now let's take a properly close look at this because I really want to show you how good the paintwork looks in reality. And you can only do that by really getting close to see it. Truly mind-blowing stuff, especially in the sunlight, which has graced our presence today. Again, calipers, as we showed you previously, look amazing with the proper wheels as well. You're getting some real GT black and SLS black vibes from this. In fact, some GTR Pro vibes as well, from at least my one that I had. Again, on the rear, looking good. I also got Michelin PS4S's installed to give me a bit more stability in varied weather. So not got the Pilot Sports on these anymore. Big thanks to Michelin for sending these over. Totally transformed the car's nature, I tell you. And you can wait for the RBR Heroes video on this car for that. Again, the SOLARBEAM paintwork, it changes in every light type, whether it's dark, whether the sun's hitting it, gets a bit more orange in the dark. The only bit of the car that I did not do was this tiny little bit over here, so I can show the police or whatever if need be that the car is in fact peelable. We've even done the underside of the boot here, as you can see. And then let's look under the bonnet, because this was one of my bugbears. I did not want a white bonnet, so Fastlane went and did the underside of the bonnet as well in SOLARBEAM yellow, which is great. So the overall effect, when you step back, looks absolutely fabulous. More details behind the fuel filler cap, all completed properly. And of course, door shuts, all done to perfection. Hinges, nothing left. And white is the hardest color to do, as you guys well know. We even got the badges back on here, which you need the V5, etc. to get ordered. As I said, as factory intended. More on that interior in a minute, it's incredible. Now we said we'd talk about the interior. You've seen a little bit of it. Let's go inside, because this looks absolutely mind-blowing and it complements the exterior so much. And here it is, guys, the finished interior. What an epic sight. At least it's on par with the standard C63 back then. I think it's a stage beyond because it takes modern cues from modern AMGs and the brand new Black Series as well, all of which are very obvious, but I'm going to take you through them anyway from that brief that we gave B-Trim and what we've achieved over here. Let's first focus on the seats and the materials. So materials, we've got black Nappa leather, we've got Dynamica, as you would use as well. We've got yellow Alcantara, and again, how they done this, I don't know. The Black Series lines through the middle. Big thanks to AMG Press Department in Germany for getting me the right measurements for this. This would not be possible without you. And then we've got the new seat badging as well. So that's just our materials. Then, as I said, we took the seat patterns from the C63 of that time, rather than using the diesel ones that the Black Series was. And you can see this line in particular here, which the C63 had, makes the seat that much more muscular looking. And that's really finished it off nicely. We did have a discussion as to whether we'd embroider AMG here, and I do have a patch here that we tried, but we decided it'd be too much while we still have the seat badge here. This Black Series stripe, alongside with yellow piping that we have, the yellow stitching that we have, and I again reiterate, this is all the materials that Daimler use as well, gives just enough of an effect, in my opinion, for the seats. And it just looks mind-blowing to me. It looks as good as the car outside does, which it never did before. Indeed, then the gear selector, we've got the one from the 507 because it's got the AMG Falterbuck crest on top, but we retrimmed this area again to be Dynamica and yellow stitching to match the theme. We had carbon before anyway, which is a Black Series standard option. On the rear as well, you will see that we have, again, those Black Series stripes, which look fantastic when you see all four seats together. Again, more use of Nappa with even the ISOFIX stuff, which they've kindly badged as well. Now, one thing I must thank my Instagram followers for, the door cards on the Black Series, again, they were the diesel ones, and the C63 had a different pattern. So my followers on Instagram who have the C63 kindly sent me measurements for this along with the angles, and we were able to make it exactly the same. I'll show you the difference between the two. It's quite dramatic, in fact, just a little change like this. This actually looks like the AMG logo now in the way that it goes, and you can see it makes a big, big difference. And we've done that on the rear cards as well. A quick steering wheel unveil for the SW custom steering wheel. It looks amazing. So I gave him a very specific brief on this. I wanted carbon fiber, but not as you normally find on carbon steering wheels, where it goes vertically, so it just wraps around it. I wanted the carbon fiber in the same direction as the trim here, which is exactly how AMG has it in their modern cars with carbon fiber steering wheels. It all goes in that direction like the AMG logo. So he was able to do that. This is why I was saying to you guys, when you go to SW Customs, you can give him a brief and he will stick to it. It's not like he's getting wheels made from China or something. He's doing it himself. So I got the carbon in the direction I wanted it. I didn't want a plastic 12 o'clock area here. I wanted a leather one. And again, he was able to do that. All of that done exactly to my specification. And what it leaves is a steering wheel that pretty much looks factory OEM, doesn't it? And that's the effect that I wanted. So guys, that's the interior. I'm absolutely blown away by it. It perfectly complements the exterior. Huge thanks to B-Trim. If you want to get some leather trim work done, I can't recommend B-Trim enough. It's actually a lot more affordable than you'd think, particularly if you just want to get seats or centers done. You could get it done pretty much any car. And trust me when I say it is pretty affordable. Speak to John there. He will sort you out. Tell him I sent you. Now guys, to really appreciate the overall look of this car, I wanted to show you what it looks like on the road, making a bit of thunderous 6.2 litre V8 noise. Let me show you that as we conclude this transformation video. So guys, here's the final piece of the puzzle, seeing the car on the road, really appreciating what the SOLARBEAM yellow looks like. The entirety of this press spec looking just amazing to me, just so modern AMG. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this. It's a full RBR Heroes episode coming on the Black Series in the future. What is RBR Heroes? We celebrate classic cars in their best form. So loads more to look forward on this car. If you guys enjoyed this, please do like, subscribe and share this video. Really helps the channel. And now here's a little bit of AMG naturally aspirated V8 Symphony for you to enjoy. See you next time.